live on Zoom. So hello everybody, hello Nikhil, hello Nicholas again. And today we are here for second time with ZapERP team, and today we are joined with Nikhil, CEO of ZapERP. So how are you guys?
I'm great,
really good.
Thank you.
Really cool. So yesterday we were talking a little bit about this topic, which is inventory management. And Nicholas, you shared quite harsh story about that you needed to refund 40,000 pounds of products because it wasn't well in stock. So you just sent products which didn't exist, basically, right? Yeah. So today we'll be talking about how to overcome this issue because it's quite simple. You just need to use right software. So guys, tell me, why do you think that this specific area, this specific topic is important for every e-commerce store owner?
Yeah, I'll start. You know, obviously, to run an e-commerce software, you got to get everything right, and one of them things you've got to get right is the inventory control. Like I explained yesterday, without any of the right software, you can't grow your business. You can't future-proof your business.
Mm-hmm.
So having the correct software in all of the class of running your e-commerce software, you need to make sure that everything works to your business and everything works to grow you, to reduce the amount of time you personally have to spend on each topic.
All right, Nikhil?
No, absolutely. And the whole point is you need a single dashboard where you see all the data, so that you don't need to go to your sales channels like Shopify or Amazon or WooCommerce just to figure out what's going on with your store. And that way, once you have the data, you can make the right decisions. So that gives a huge advantage. So it's not only about the products, it's not only about the sales, it's about the mixture of two and making sure you make the right decisions.
Yeah, and I mean, especially when you are using multiple platforms, not only Shopify, but for example, combined with Amazon, AliExpress, and other platforms that you can sell your stuff on, it gets quite tricky if you want to stay on the top of your stock game. So guys, I believe that you prepared some not slides, but some interesting areas to talk about in this specific topic. So before we will start, for everybody who is joining, thanks a lot on Facebook. And if you have any questions about this topic or about ZapERP in general, please let us know in the comments and we will be answering them either throughout the webinar or in the end of the webinar. So guys, let's dive in. I'm really eager to hear everything about this topic, and I believe that PitchGrounders as well.
Okay, so do you want to start, Nikhil, or should I? So
no, go ahead. You can start.
So you know, we've prepared some bullet points of experiences we've both faced, you know, running stores or building software, and you know, so I'll start off with the number one topic. The number one topic is focus. Make sure you focus, and that is not just focus on it. It's not on about focus on a niche. When you're launching an e-commerce store, we should be looking at how can we grow? What can we do to beat the competitors? How can we further our business or start our business without the competitors reeling in on us? Because, for example, for my other business in ski wear, running, cycling, if we went against Nike, we're never going to win. If we went Adidas, we're never going to win. So you have to find who is your customer. And that way you will decide on where to target all your ads. That way you'll just decide how you run your business, how you run your business model. And that is the key number one before you start anything. So,
I mean, it's the same for every business, right? Before you start, you need to completely understand your customer and your market before you start doing anything, because it would be just shooting in the dark if you wouldn't do it.
Yes, no, that's 100%. And even building, you know, software, it's the same scenario. So,
absolutely.
But a lot of people do forget. They just think, oh yeah, that's it. I'll start the e-commerce store. That away we go. We're going to make millions. No, you're not. Sorry to disappoint you guys, but it's not the way you know it's going to work. But you have to do a lot of research to make sure that this is the right product or products or service that you can offer to your customers. The next movement you need to do is to make sure you choose the correct e-commerce software. So there's loads of platforms out there, such as, BigCommerce, Shopify, WooCommerce. They're all great platforms. They all have their own unique features. However, you have to look at your business and say, okay, where am I going to be in 2 years' time? Where do I need any unique features? Do I need custom development? That way, that will determine where you should use, what platform you should use. So we launched one store on Shopify because we didn't need any customization work. We just needed to build a theme, or we bought a theme. We customized the theme to our level of where the business needed to be, and that was good. But our other business, the skiwear business, we couldn't run it on BigCommerce. We couldn't run it on Shopify. We can't do it on any of them platforms. We had to use Magento, and that's because we needed a lot of custom development done to build like the club. So we built this club thing where we basically gave members but you had to become a member. It was £10 a year, but you got 10% off all your products. You got free returns, free shipping. But that's also, it goes into a lot of other things which I'll dive into later. But again, we couldn't use Shopify, we couldn't use WooCommerce, we couldn't use BigCommerce. So really look at what features you need before you choose your e-commerce software, and look at the the funding that you have. Make sure you have the correct funding. If you're going to go for Magento, then you need a developer. So I need the right developer. So again, you have to look at that criteria.
How would you decide on which platform to use when you were starting out?
So we looked at various amount of platforms. So, in FF Brands, we looked at Shopify, we looked at BigCommerce, and we saw they were great. But because of the custom work we need doing and the features I wanted, I spoke to Shopify. They said, no, we can't support them. You might find a plugin, but no plugin. So we went through the vigorous testing, went through loads of testing of different software. That's one thing, a lot of people do miss out on is they think, oh yeah, Shopify might be great, or it's great, but in 2 years' time, you might have outgrown it because you need some custom work done, and it's going to cost you too much on Shopify, or it's not the right product. So that's just, after focus, that's the second thing you need to focus on. So let me just pull up the other slides. So, and then we go back to inventory software. So you've chosen the correct platform. Make sure you find a software that's for your inventory, because it doesn't matter how small you are. I am a firm believer in you need some software to support your business. So it doesn't have to be the best software in the world. As long as it sorts your sales orders out, as long as it connects to your channels to manage your inventory, so that if you're selling on Amazon, Walmart, eBay, all these, third-party marketplaces, that's what's needed. And so you need an inventory software that controls that. And a lot of people do generally forget that. There's like I said, I believe I said yesterday, I've got a friend who has got a great Shopify store, but hasn't got an inventory control system. So he's manually entering all the details into shipping. He has to filter it every day. He might miss something off. So having that software there will support you. Then if you don't have that inventory software, you could be having stock just sat there. That doesn't, because you're not selling it, but you think you might be selling it, but you might be selling once or twice. That's it. So again, having that inventory software which does the detailed reporting is great. But we go back to make sure it connects with your store. So if you use Magento, make sure that whatever software you choose, you have the latest, Magento supports that software that supports Magento. Otherwise, again, you could be screwed. So that's a really, really important thing.
So tell me why your friend doesn't have inventory software, and why is he doing it manually? Is it because he doesn't know what to use, or doesn't know that something like this exists?
Yes, he didn't know what to use. We've introduced obviously to ZapERP. But yeah, at the time he didn't know what to use. He wasn't in that area of expertise. He didn't know. He thought he could control it through there. But because he's grown, he's like, I kind of do need to save time. And he spends 2-3 hours of packaging. Yes, it's 2-3 hours of packaging, but you could skim that down to 15 minutes.
Yes.
Because of automation. And again,
and remove the mistakes as well, right?
remove the mistakes. The next thing why you need the inventory software is to handle returns. This day and age, I know in Europe, I know in the US, you know, online retailers have to take returns. You know, if you're selling a product to a consumer, you have to give, I believe it's around 14 days. So in that 14-day period, a customer can change their mind and they don't have to give you an explanation. But if you don't have a software that supports that return, you're giving a bad customer experience to all your customers. So then you're not running your e-commerce store properly. And a lot of people do forget that process. Right, we need something to handle returns, to manage returns, to see what returns have come back, to see, you know, have they been sorted out in the warehouse. But then what if you get a return that is damaged? How do we separate that to make sure that it doesn't go back into the inventory, to upload back to the website, say we've got it back in stock? But then, so that means you'll send a damaged product to a customer. And again, it's just a bad vibes with the, you know, customer service and customers. So make sure you get an inventory software that handles them areas.
Nicholas, tell me, you did quote unquote fuck up. Maybe it's not a quote unquote with that you needed to return $40,000 of 40,000 pounds of products. Why exactly did it happen? You didn't have like right inventory software, or you didn't have software at all. Why did it happen?
Yeah, we had one software before, obviously I joined ZapERP, we did have a software, but it broke on us. So this is the problem, it broke on us. If we go in depth with it, it really broke with us. We then had so many problems with wrong addresses, it's not pulling the right data through Magento and stuff like that. And, you know, so we had a huge amount of refunds to do because customers had canceling their orders. They were returning the items, say, look, you've shipped it too late. I've already gone on my skiing trip. Like, I don't need them skiing items anymore. So that's why you have to study, you know, you have to study every part of, before you go live with your inventory e-commerce store, you have to study, make sure you got the right inventory software.
Yes.
Right. So one thing I would like to add here is this is applicable even if you are entry store, like entry level. Doesn't matter you are just starting or you are already started and scaling. This is very important. So 100% I agree what he says, and it's applicable at any stage.
And I mean, also because you will learn these good habits, because you don't want to learn these habits after you are scaling or while you are scaling. I mean, it's good to acquire these good habits when you are still small, right? And when you can still learn and make mistakes. But when you start selling a lot more products, well, it might be a little bit too late to start learning with it.
Exactly. And sorry to interrupt you, but even in case of agencies who are helping other companies, they also can sort of push the clients to follow those good habits. So, I mean, overall in e-commerce, these are like some of the best practices that they should do.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you know, you both hit a nail on the head, really. You need to get into that good stage of like, you know, making sure you're organized. You know, if you don't have these steps, and when you do need them, if you've not had that organization from the start, you'll struggle to you know, implement it.
We have 2 questions I think we might answer. First one is from Tarek, and Tarek is asking, so does this allow for stock syncs such as Amazon, eBay, Lazada, WooCommerce, etc., and all of the regions in those marketplaces to sync?
So I'm actually reading the question. We do support Asia, US, like North America, then Europe. Australia is not yet supported, but we will soon support it. Lazada, I'm not sure. Philippines, I'm not sure. Asia is supported, so I'm pretty sure Philippines is supported too.
Perfect. And another question, guys, by the way, if you have more questions, keep it coming. We'll be answering them like this. Question from Fabrizio. Interesting to know, online businesses or also brick and mortar store?
That's a great question. So yes, it is applicable for both online businesses as well as brick and mortar store, because at the end of the day, both of them needs to manage the inventory.
And a lot of brick and mortar stores do have websites, because There's a decline in retail, but retail still, having a physical store to build your brand is still important.
Yes.
A pop-up shop, that's a new phase, and it's very, very important to grow your brand. So having inventory management that will control that as well, even if they don't fully build it, if they integrate to vendors and stuff like that, that's fantastic.
You mentioned pop-up shop. Can you describe for me and for people who are watching what exactly it is?
So if you're trying to start a brand or have got a brand, the pop-up shops is the best. I personally believe the best way to go rather than having a shop, because with a shop, you have a long lease, you've got all them bills you've got to pay for. And if you don't make it, you don't make it, and you fall into so much debt. But having a pop-up shop could be a great way to go around the country where you are to expose your brand to more customers that, not seeing you on Facebook ads or not seeing you through Google, or they want to actually feel the product that you've got, talk to the actual human being, so they can get an explanation what the product is, how good it is, so they can get that feel. Brand is very important to have brand build.
So in practice, how does it look like? It means that I'm just carrying luggage filled with my inventory and I'm selling it anywhere?
No, you have to go, for example, the Kilpie that we do with the ski brand. We plan to do a shop next year. So we have to get prepared before. We have to make a special event to make sure, so we pull people in. That's a bit of music, a few drinks flown around, a wheel for discount wheel. So it gets in people interactive. It then gets people in the store, and then they can see the videos of the brand. So it's not just about pushing a product. You don't just go there and with your suitcase, put the products in, hope to sell it. It's not really about selling a product. It's more about selling your brand, connecting to your customer, so they remember who you are. And then when they're ready to purchase, let's say they want a ski jacket, and they came to our pop-up store and they had this amazing experience, but never bought a jacket from us, they'll remember us for the future.
Yeah, and I mean, another upside is that if you're e-commerce brands, there are actually not many opportunities to create high quality content about your team, right? But if you're somewhere physically with your team, with your products, and you're interacting with people, it's a great brand asset. Like that, you can record videos out of it and then use it to boost more sales and so on. So it's not necessarily like sales channel, this pop-up store only, but also huge brand building asset.
Yeah, that is correct. It's a huge brand awareness. And it's an important model today to gain more customers, to gain more, more brand awareness and trust.
All right.
So the moving on from the inventory, I think we got the inventory covered, just to make sure we know the returns and stuff like that. It's about the next part is there's also other software in your e-commerce business. So there's email marketing, Facebook marketing is a powerful tool that you must use, because you're just losing customers. For example, if you just do Google advertising and don't do any remarketing, then you're failing, because
you're leaving so much money on the table.
Yeah, 95% of customers don't buy first time. They look at your store, go off, because they might be viewing it in the morning. They might have seen, okay, I want a ski jacket. They might be on the tube or the train or stuck in traffic. Found your site. Okay, yeah, I clicked on that. Oh yeah, I like it. Put the phone back in the pocket. Go to work. Forget about it all. So you need to make sure that your remarketing is set up, and that is a software you can have integrated into your store. So it builds segments. So we use a software called Klaviyo, and that is an email software. It's a great tool because it integrates with your obviously store, it integrates with Facebook, so it pushes segments into your from your email marketing software to Facebook to gain the customers back. And with email marketing, it's not always about selling. So when a customer signs up to our sites, we send them a welcome series. It's not really there to sell. It's there to give them information about the brand, about what we do, how we do it, why we do it. That's the first phase. We then do other emails such as abandoned cart, abandoned product page, and that's another way to get a customer back. Because a customer, like I said, if they've read your email once or, you know, been on your site within the past 2 years, they don't have to be logged in, and they'll send them an email saying, hey, you forgot about this, you know, product that you're looking at. And that's another important way, but don't bombard your customers with emails. And when you're doing abandoned cart, you don't always have to imply a discount because they might just generally forgot. So you might not have to give them a discount. But then if you set your segmentations up, and that's what I'm saying with the email software, make sure you get a good one that has segmentations, it has workflows, you know, so you can really get down to the nitty-gritty of who your customer is, how the customer behaves, because not all customers want a discount. But then let's say they don't open that email, or they've opened it but not done anything with it, then you can set a 48-hour delay to send another one with a discount in. So all that flows is very important. And again, that comes down to running your e-commerce store, starting up. You need to have all this in place so that you can gain more sales, you spend less, work less, and work smarter.
But email is not the only cart abandonment way you can use, right? There are way too more. Like you can, for example, retarget them with the ads or use messenger bots. Do you have any experience with these methods?
So we only use Facebook for our stores. We only use Facebook and email. We're looking at, you know, the other ways to do it, like direct into Facebook messengers and stuff like that. So you know, there's loads of tools out there. Again, you know, do some research, look at how you can get the, you know, look at other tools, look how they integrate with the store, look how that integrates with other software to gain back your customer if when they leave.
All right. So far you mentioned 5 things which we should focus on when we are starting our e-commerce store. Let me summarize them. First one is focus, and not only on niche, but only on like running the business. Then knowing your customers. Third one is deciding which platform to use, which suits your needs. Fourth one, inventory software which connects with your store. And fifth one, deciding which softwares to use, for example, for email marketing and so on. Is there anything else like we should pay attention to?
Oh, there's so many things you have to do really, but I would say that they're the main things. There's probably 1 or 2 things I might have missed off.
I think something about team maybe and customer support.
Yeah. Oh yes, 100%. You know, so before launching store, make sure you have, if you can afford, if you can do it, if you have the time, have some live chat there, because not all customers want to phone up because they might be busy. So there's integrations into, you know, now there's integrations into, you know, WhatsApp Business. There's integrations into, you know, Facebook Messenger. So you can have a Facebook Messenger on your, you know, your website. So people don't have to log in. They don't have to fill any details in. They quickly just click the button and they can ask any questions. And again, it comes into automation because you can set up a Facebook, you know, to reply with somewhat, you know, with the bot, to try and see if you can solve that problem without you know, stepping in. And I think that's a great tool to start using and to save some time. But make sure that's set up again before you launch, because that'll improve your customer experience.
Nikhil, do you want to add something to it, or can we jump into the questions we have?
So I would like to add maybe 1 or 2 points. So I mean, Nicholas did explain that inventory and all other points that are must when you are starting an e-commerce store. But one more point, which I experienced when I was trying to sell clothes. I had one partner here in India. So we were selling female fashionable clothes, and we realized that we almost have around 30 to 40% stock as a dead stock. And we were doing all this on Excel, sometimes doing it manually, just hand calculations. And 30 to 40% dead stock in clothing business is pretty common. And that's why if you see all these clothing stores, they tend to go for sale. So these are the things, these are the numbers. As an e-commerce player, e-commerce store owner, you need to know, I mean, not just about clothing, but any business, any niche business you are targeting, you need to know all this thing, and you need to make sure that you apply this to your business. So yeah, that's just top of my head. I thought that I should mention.
All right, thanks a lot. and I think we can jump into 4 questions we have right now. Another one is from Fabrizio, and he is saying, we do actually have both, and both means online and brick and mortar store, but the stock is shared. How the ERP will work in this case?
So shared stock is good because that way, whenever they're selling online, the stock will be reduced. Whenever they sell offline using the same software, as long as it is connected to internet, the stock will reflect on their screen too. And other thing is we have upcoming POS feature as well as integration with other POS scheduled in the future. So that will help them in their brick and mortar store, where all they need is a panel, a touchscreen, and just take the orders offline. Offline, when I say offline, means as long as connected to internet.
I see. Okay. So Fabrizio, I hope that we answered your question. And another question is, it's more like a suggestion from Derek. Please, please, please add Lazada support for all Lazada regions. They are strong across Southeast Asia and owned by Alibaba, and they dominate locally versus Amazon and eBay. So I think that's something you should definitely look into, guys.
Great feedback from a potential customer or customer. So, great feedback.
Question from Taylor. How does ZapERP compare to Inventory Planner, which does fairly sophisticated inventory forecasting with ML? I don't know what ML means.
So ML is machine learning, and you're absolutely right. They do sophisticated inventory forecasting with ML, and that is we have planned. So right now, the way it works right now for us is we do forecasting, but eventually as we gather more and more data, we'll be putting machine learning and AI both, and that will give us much more sophisticated technology to forecast your inventory. So ML is something that takes time because it learns from the data itself. So as we grow, as we continue working on this, we will be gathering more and more data.
So guys, if you want this feature as soon as possible, you need to tell everybody you know about ZapERP, and they have to use it because this way ZapERP team will get more data and will get ML feature earlier. All right, last question from Steven. Guys, if you have any more questions, please keep it coming. We'll be answering them. Question from Steven. If you are just drop shipping from Alibaba, does ZapERP work? Is it a good fit?
That's a great question. In fact, I think yesterday also one customer asked the same question. So drop shipping integration is coming soon. Already we have live Amazon, WooCommerce, Shopify, Etsy, and few others. Drop shipping is on the top of our list. It will be there.
Okay, perfect.
So I would highly recommend to go to our roadmap. If we have something missing, add it there. If we have something already there, I'm pretty sure Alibaba is already there. Just vote for it. That way we can keep pushing it.
Where can people find this roadmap?
It's roadmap.zaperp.com, or I'll share one more link. That's not a problem.
Okay. All right, guys. So today's topic is inventory management and how to manage your inventory, basically. So is there anything else in this specific topic you would like to add? Maybe something which we didn't mention. What I would like to point out is that what is a new information from me out of this webinar, that we should be using inventory management software from the day one and not really like wait till we are selling more, because we need to get these habits from the day one correct and right. So is there anything else you would like to add to inventory management for people who are in e-com?
I think we covered pretty much all the important points. So Nicholas, do you have anything else?
No, I think we covered quite a lot of points. What you should do on your inventory management, what should you be prepared for, how you should go about things. So yeah, I think we achieved quite a lot.
I think so as well. So let me quickly share my screen, but before I will do it, let me check if I have more questions? No, I don't see any more questions. So I will show you the roadmap of ZapERP where you can check what is coming. So this is roadmap.zaperp.com, and you can see everything what is planned, in progress, and done. And of course, you can upvote here as well. I think it's very similar system like SyncSpider uses, which is Feedbear, and people in PitchGround are already used to it. So once again, roadmap.zaperp.com, and here you can submit feedback and submit all the integrations you want. All right, so if you like this, these talks, I know that they are a little bit different than what we are used to in PitchGround, but I see that a lot of people are joining, so that's a great feedback. You can register for more on zaperp.pitchground.com. And this is the schedule. So today we were talking about inventory management and how to run your e-commerce store like a boss. And on Sunday, we're talking about how to scale your e-commerce business and tips to get your processes ready. November 11th, people were asking when we are launching. So November 11th, that's the day when we are launching. So ZapERP is launching, in-depth walkthrough and a huge Q&A. So if you have any questions, please keep it coming, and we will answer them all, even twice on this day, because, well, some people might have same question. So guys, ZapERP is launching on November 11th, and you can join the webinar on this link. And then November 14th and 15th, there will be 2 product-related webinars. So we'll be teaching you how exactly you can get the most out of ZapERP. So make sure that you will join here as well if you are considering buying ZapERP. Once again, it's zaperp.pitchground.com. It will take you to this beautiful landing page, e-commerce ignite bootcamp. Start, grow, and scale your e-com business with automation. And you will just fill in your email address here and book your place, and we'll send you all the notifications and all the replays once we go live. Next webinar is starting in 2 days. All right, guys, thanks a lot for joining. Let me check once again if you have more questions. Nope. So thank you, everybody. Guys, you did great. I really like what I'm learning here, and it's an honor to spend these minutes with you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
All right. So I will see you on Sunday.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.